Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Orna's Garden. I'm Brett, the thankful carnivore.medium. And hey, Kate, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for today. I already feel like there's going to be just when I woke up this morning and knew that we were going to be on the podcast today, like I can already feel that this one's going to be solid with a lot of good information for you guys and just a lot of I already feel like creators got some news for everyone.
Fantastic. I can't wait to hear what Orna has to say. So let's bring our friends out and see how it goes.
All right.
All right.
Hello everyone and welcome. We feel already that many that are in this, listening to this space, we have much, much to share with you all, specifically on the topics of certainty and the topics of creating your reality. And this is coming to light because many of you, we feel, have a great fear or a great celebration going on, and it feels like there's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of divide right now over who is leading your country. This is more than just, however, those who reside in what we call the United States. This is talking about while you guys are consciously seeing what we would like to call a totem of this shift, you guys have put a sort of sign on the stage as to, in order to consciously be aware of what is happening for your guys' mind's actual brain mind to consciously track what is happening right now in this shift. However, many across the world and those who are global across this entire earth who are tapping into this podcast, and yes, to Brett, Orna, and Kate, there are going to be many who are listening to this very specific episode because worldwide, you guys are feeling the shift that is taking place. And this shift, we would like to remind everybody, is not happening in your government. It is not happening in the political parties that are holding you guys hostage from your guys' appearance. This is happening on a soul level. So today we would like to speak to everyone's soul, because your soul right now is going through an incredible change. Many have spoken of this as the ascension. Many have spoken this as 5D. It has many, many names, enlightenment. We could go on. However, we need to speak to the souls about the certainty of what they are, the breadth of what they hold, and how they are changing and what that looks like in your guys' actual living reality. Going back to this election, many of you guys are giving much too much power to this election. We are going to say this bluntly. We are going to say this fully. You guys are forgetting that you create your reality, that you are the one who is having a reaction. You are the one who has put this person in your reality. So the first party that we would like to speak to, we'd like to speak to those who are frightened right now of this reality. And we would like to say, once again, this message may be a bit, maybe a bit rough for many of you to hear. But those of you who are frightened, you are frightened because right now you are the souls who are right now not wanting to recognize, realize, or admit that you create your reality. You do not want to take responsibility at this time for your reality. So therefore, you are putting very, very much power into the wrong places. And in this power that you're giving to other people, you create a constant loop and program of victimization. This is not just happening because of who is your president. This is happening in the systems. And you have all of the evidence that you are a victim. You see it in the way that you are treated by the system. You see it in the way you're treated by your family, by your peers, by your ability to not move forward in your life, by the struggle and insurmountable things you go through to move forward in your life. You are constantly a victim. However, this victimization is not coming from the external reality. This external reality is reflecting what you already hold within, which is the belief, I am a victim, I am a slave, I am inferior, I am not certain, and I am afraid of my reality. If you would like, we would like to clear these beliefs at this time. All you have to do is say yes, and those beliefs will be cleared. And we would like to download instead that the beliefs of I am a sovereign being. I am safe in the discovery of me being a sovereign being. I am safe in the integration, witnessing, and evidence that I am a sovereign being. I rescind fear around the creation of my reality, and I embrace the creation of my reality with trust, with honesty, and with courage. Can we download that you have the feeling of sovereignty and the feeling of courage? If you would like these, please say yes, and it is done. We would like you to, for those of you who are in celebration of this election, we would also like to remind you as well that in that celebration, in a way, you are also giving away your power. Because remember that this is a reflection to you of the forward motion that is happening in your life, of the work that you are doing in the systems that are collapsing. However, you must remember that while this signal is in your stage and in your conscious mind, all of that power is within. The power that you are currently unveiling is all within you, the certainty, the belief in yourself. So we would like to download for both, for everyone listening to this podcast, can we please close all loops and programs around you guys giving your power away to external sources? Can we clear all illusions and blindness around external being the start of your internal? And can we download that you know what it feels like to have power, certainty, and belief over your reality, over your ability to create it, and over your own power? Can we close all loops and programs around fear and scarcity and resistance around the recognition of your power? We would like to also get deeper into the topic of certainty. But Rids, now we would like to ask Orna and Brett how they are, since Orna has been observing you guys for many, many years, we'd like to hear what they have to say about the global shifting and the global shifting of timelines, the global shifting of energy, and the changes that souls are currently on their way to making.
Thank you so much, Creator. It is a genuine joy to be with you and Kate and Brett once again. This election season has been more than just a little bit interesting. And it's important to remember your country, these United States, as you call it, have had good leaders and bad leaders. In your lifetime, there have been many good leaders and bad leaders. And yet your nation still stands. It's still the envy of most of the rest of the planet. From a financial perspective and from a freedom perspective. 3D freedom, we'll call it, which is minimal compared to the 5D freedom that is approaching. I cannot help but agree with Creator that it was very surprising to see so many willingly, when the election results were announced, they immediately gave up their power to fear, to worry. The things that are being said by many of these individuals is frankly quite unwell, unhealthy. It's certainly perfectly normal to regret losing, but to give all your power away to a loss that, if you voted, if you were a participant in the election, you did all you could do. You voted for who you wished to win. Others, in greater numbers, voted for the victor. And it's important to remember, to dovetail along with Creator's words, rightly spoken. This leader is necessary for this time to create the chaos that will destroy the institutions that have been controlling humanity for far too long. Be patient. Look inwardly and recognize what you're doing to yourself by giving your power away in this manner. Rightly said by Creator, you are the creators of your reality. Why are you choosing, many of you, to create a reality where you have no power? For that is a choice. It is not mandated by the situation. Many of you have lowered your vibrations. And have begun creating your own darker, denser energy within yourself in response to this outcome. I would encourage all listening and watching this podcast to remember your soul is always in control. You are in control of your reality. You do not have to participate in the fear. In fact, I would encourage you through meditation to ask yourself, what have I been thinking? Why have I allowed so much negativity to come into my being over a loss of an election that doesn't bring negativity to you just by itself? You have to give your power away and bring that negativity into yourself. This is a choice. I pray that all of you took advantage of the opportunity with Creator and said yes to removing those beliefs, those thoughts, that energy away from your life, from your soul. Focus instead. What are you really in control of? You're in control of your physical being. you're in control of your spiritual being and you're in control of your mental cognitive faculties. What you choose to do with those things with regards to this election is your choice. I pray you choose wisely rather than give your power away and focus on the loss. Open your eyes honestly and ask yourself the question, what do I have to be afraid of? Truly. Ask yourself that question with honesty, the understanding that the election loss is not saying anything specific about you as an individual, about you as a living, breathing being, as you as a creation from source itself. Focus your time, your energy, and love yourself again. Love what you truly are. Recognize and remember what you truly are. And cease this giving away of your power to something that only controls you when you allow it yourself to be willingly controlled. Also remember, you and your ancestors have lived through loss before. Learn from the loss. Learn what you need to know from this experience so that in 4 years, you may remember this day, this moment, when you recognize that you had given your power away so that you don't repeat the experience. Trust your heart to guide you. And remember, we've all agreed to be here. Humans have agreed to incarnate into these bodies, to learn. Creator and I have agreed to be here, to be of assistance to humanity, to continue teaching and providing guidance so that humanity can come under the umbrella of the universal tool of love for themselves, for yourself, for your loved ones, your family, your communities, your state, your nation. Love is always the answer. Creator, you have other things to say? Please feel free.
Yes, we'd like to take this moment to teach you to run through a scenario. We feel like right now everyone needs to know when we speak of love, when love comes up, the depth of love you cannot possibly understand with a dualistic mind. Love is nuanced. It contains many facets. Its depth, it is you yourself in constant expansion. We'll repeat that. Love is you yourself in constant expansion. We are all under the law of oneness. We are all under the law of creation. And so when you have these illusions of separation, separation from a party, separation from a government, separation from a class system, separation from a skin color, separation from a way of thinking, remember this is an illusion. And this illusion will cause, it is not wrong, it is not bad, but this illusion will cause an expansion with which you are currently fighting against. Right now, you guys are in an incarnation where you have a very dualistic mind. It is either one thing or it is the other, or possibly a third. And you guys miss that there is many, 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 many expansions and ways of creation in between those. And so when you are looking at the external world with derision, with hatred, with fear, under the lens of love, in fact, we're going to teach you something right now to help actually integrate this teaching into your life so you understand on a very mind conscious level what we mean when we say you create your realities. We are going to give you a tool to recognize the patterns that you yourself are creating and living out day after day after day, even on the grand scale of global catastrophe and or presidential elections. So what we want you to remember is that you are at oneness with your body, the physical, the energetic, the spiritual, the divine, the earth, all the same thing. All the same thing with a very slightly different lens of perception attached to it. We are currently downloading into your subconscious. If you accept what this means, many of you understand right now. Some of you, it may take a minute. However, with this explanation, we'd like to give you a teaching. When you look at right now, who is in control of your life? Answer this question honestly. If you believe it is the President of the United States, where are you feeling that in your body? Where is that emotion coming from? Sit in that emotion and ask where it's coming from. Ask for the memory that this emotion is bringing up for you. Once you find that memory, ask yourself in a meditation or just in general, what am I afraid of? We'll use an example. Many of you guys right now are afraid of the violation of your physical bodies as women with the current president at large. The very first question we would ask is, what is the worst thing if you are violated? What is the worst thing that happens to you? When you get down through a series of questions, it'll be different with every one of you. But the very bottom belief that we find that many of you guys have is the belief that I am not in control. I have no power. Thus, any system is going to reflect that to you where you have no power and you also have no control because you are operating from a belief that that is the truth of your reality. It is a copy paste. So if you find that you are holding that belief, you can also muscle test this in your physical body because we know that the mind in its own way tends to, as it's designed, as it's your mind, your conscious mind is designed for imagination and expansion and your own forward motion. It does, however, not sometimes give you what it needs to know the truth of yourself. The mind's job is not to be the truth of yourself. The mind's job is for expansion. The conscious mind and the ego are there for your expansion, your imagination, your desires, your wants, essentially the possibilities in which you can steer your ship. It is not meant to find your absolute truth. Your absolute truth is held in your physical body. Your absolute truth is held in your subconscious mind. It is held in your connection to Creator, Spirit, God, whatever your label. To tap into that, sometimes for many of you, as Orna and Brett have said, who have not held in the practice of meditation and have not been able to hold that tether to your own subconscious, now would be a good time to begin to practice. But for the sake of this teaching and the sake of this practice, ask your own body if it holds the beliefs. Watch if it sways forward, that is a yes. If it sways backwards, that is a no. If your body holds this belief, ask for that belief to be cleared. Work on the certainty that that belief is cleared. Work on the certainty that these things, these healings And the way that your soul expands can be done through ease. It does not need to be done through victimization, through hardship, through war, through battle, through duality, through oppression, through suppression. It does not need to happen this anymore. Your souls are asking, and that is being delivered. You are here to execute upon that delivery of your soul going through a different experience. So take this exercise to call your power back, to ask yourself everything in your life, what is the belief and program that I'm operating on to create this reality? If you do not like the president, if you do not like the systems that you are very in real time dealing with, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that happens to me in this system? Why is that? And you will find the bottom belief that you are operating, once that is pull, cleared, resolved, you find that that system falls apart, that president no longer has a hold on your life, and you do become the embodiment of the sovereign, powerful being that you are, that you came here to reclaim, that you came here to recognize, and that you are on your way to doing so. As the creator of all that is what's currently being channeled. We would also like to remind you that we are connected to all of you. This is not merely a thing between Kate and Creator. This is every one of you has access to us. Every one of you is created from us. And in fact, there is no us. We are imbued into every cell and fiber of your being. This is merely, in fact, even listening to this message, this is merely the manifestation of your own soul bringing this message so that your conscious mind can get on board with the expansion that's happening to ease the burden of this expansion happening to you. But know that if ever you ask for anything to be cleared, it is instant, it is immediate through the power of the oneness that we all are and through the power and love that we all are. This does not need to be hard. You do not need to go through this with heavy shoulders. You are allowed to go through this with joy, delight, and play, which is what your soul is calling to do, and it is how it is currently transforming. And if ever you have questions, you tap into that connection you have with the divine and creator. Your body is not separate from it. Your mind is not separate from it. Your spirit is not separate from it. It is merely an illusion of separation that you are all carrying. And that would complete our message for today. If Orna and Brett have anything to add.
Thank you so much, Creator. My message to all of you watching and listening is to focus your energies on creating a reality for yourself with your power, with your beliefs, with your love. And once you do this, ask yourself this question: how can any presidential election affect me to the point where I give up my power? Because this should not happen. Lose the belief in fear. Do this in a meditative state. Fear is a liar. And many of you have immersed yourself in the fear to the point to where it's very, very hard for you to see a positive path from this situation, but they're all around you. Only you are limiting your ability to see and recognize that There are options, there are choices that are good for you and your soul. Learn from this. Learn from this so that the mistakes are never repeated. With his permission, I'm going to use Brett as an example. Brett was not eyeballing every single moment of the election season. In fact, for the most part, Brett's not really thought about the election that much until the final days before, because he was focused on being of service to others, something else that would never be affected by who won or lost the election. Brett was not pleased with who had won the previous election, but he did not let it take his power away. And when he embraced spiritualism in the previous year, political thought was just not what he wanted to expend his energy on. Not because he didn't think the elections were unimportant, but because the outcome could never have control over his being. His love of himself would be unchanged no matter who won or lost. His love ever expanding for his family, his community, and others would never be affected. Take the time in a meditative place to honestly ask yourself, was I concerned about my physical being, or was I concerned about my soul? It's right to be concerned and to keep your physical being in good working order. But is your body any less capable of performing as you desire because of the outcome of the election? It's a question you need to ask yourself. Please learn from the experience. Learning is why humans have chosen to come to Earth. This is a wonderful learning moment. Look inwardly instead of externally for the answers to the predicament you find yourself in over this loss. And focus on how you can transform and adapt and create a positive path for you to walk, for positivity to come back into your life. Remembering always, you are the creator of your reality, all aspects of your reality. You are responsible for creating. Be at peace with yourself first. And use this time to learn how to love more consistently, more openly, more honestly, more genuinely, and immerse yourself in love. Be at peace, my brothers and sisters. this election is not going to provide enormous negativity unless you accept it into yourself. Instead, trust in love, study love, embrace love, immerse yourself in love, and seek a better solution than fear because of loss. On behalf of Brett, Kate, Creator, I am Orna. I appreciate you taking the time of your day to watch and listen to this discussion. Until we meet again, fare thee well.
Looking at my little.
Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it.
There's a lot of stuff downloaded in this episode, I just have to say.
Yeah, definitely. I got more than just a few myself through that. That was a beautiful discussion between them, I feel.
I always just like to like remind people too that there's, and I'm sure like I know I felt it with Orna before in our conversations with in conversations with Brett, but also when channeling Creator, like it's not just the words that you guys are getting, like it is like a direct link to your subconscious as well, because you know Creator is it like, I mean, like I have a very like conscious like verbal connection that I'm sharing with you, but you guys are all connected, and so a lot of times while we're doing these, like Creator is pinpointing many of you and sort of doing the work, and then I get to kind of watch this happen in field. And so just always know that when you're listening to these things that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than just what's being said. So obviously the words themselves too are always a comfort to hear, but yeah, thank you guys for being here today.
Appreciate it so much, and we'll see you the next time that we open the gate to Orna's garden and let Creator and Orna talk about the next subject that they're choosing to express themselves on. So thank you all very much for being here, and we're going to hit the record button, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.